Mr. Chambers, followed by Gail McCrane.
Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to thank the board for the opportunity to speak. I had a front row seat, so I'm actually, a resident of North Carolina, and I'm here today in support of Dr. Littell. I found it abhorrent the way that he was treated.
Well,
So I'm the president of...
yes, Mr. Yoder.
You're eating his tail.
Is
I'm
there
sorry?
something pertinent you'd like to talk about?
Yes, absolutely.
How about making your point?
And please restart
Start
my
the time.
So my name is Josh Yoder. I'm the president of an organization known as U.S. Freedom Flyers. I'm a major airline pilot for a U.S. carrier. In 2015, I was a bush pilot in Africa, working in the UN camps and different places where the remdesivir trials were going on. And I saw the tremendous levels of death and destruction that were happening there, and I was working with medical personnel on the ground and realized that it was the remdesivir that was causing the deaths. As you can imagine, when remdesivir was rolled out as a protocol in hospitals across this nation, I was appalled. I know many cases myself. I work with organizations such as Prosecute Now, Stanford Graham and Dr. David Martin, who are actually focused on bringing criminal charges against the people, the manufacturers of remdesivir, those who are administering it. That's a work in progress, and Dr. Fauci is one of the people with the target on his back. Anyway, at U.S. Freedom Flyers, we're focused on individual rights, especially for U.S. pilots. We were forced into getting the vaccines, and the fallout for that has been absolutely incredible. Let me give you some statistics. At American Airlines, between January and July of 2022, there was a 300% increase in long-term disability claims among airline pilots. You see the staffing shortages that are going on. And I would like to point out the number of pilot incapacitations. If you're paying attention, in the past 12 days, we had 4 pilot incapacitations. We have the stories of Cody Flint, 50 hours after the first Pfizer vaccine, a very perfectly healthy 33-year-old pilot, completely passed out while flying his aircraft. He doesn't remember landing. He has 4 doctors. They all say it was directly vaccine related. Then we also have Captain Bob Snow, who he developed subclinical myocarditis. 6 minutes after the touchdown of American Airlines 1067 from Denver to Dallas-Fort Worth, Captain Snow collapses in the flight deck. And fortunately, there was a nurse and a Navy corpsman on board. They were able to revive him. He's been very vocal with his story. We have Patrick Ford, 90 seconds after being cleared for takeoff at an airliner in Chicago, when that aircraft was between 2,000 and 3,000 feet. Patrick Ford died in that seat. And fortunately, there was a very experienced Czech airman who was flying in the right seat who landed that aircraft. Just in the past 2 days, we had another pilot incapacitation. He's deceased. Another major airline captain coming back from Guatemala City to Chicago collapses in cardiac arrest, and that flight diverted to Houston. We have a major problem. And I would love to see this hospital actually look into the cause of these injuries. As you've heard from a vaccine-injured individual today. I work with hundreds of just airline pilots alone that are severely vaccine-injured. They're never gonna fly again. They've lost their flight medicals. And so they come to us for hope and for help because they're not getting it at the hospitals. And it's doctors like Dr. Littell and others who are actually stepping forward to treat them. And I would love to see you also start to pursue these protocols and these options that are actually changing people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.